Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is our board. So just if you can see. Yeah. Okay. Once you read it, I'll scroll down. Yeah. So this is the board. And the best part of the board is that we have mostly the new members in the board.
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with your club, but I find a lot of new faces in the board.
Yeah. Most of the faces are new. So मेरा कर्जा तो खैर IPP है. So and there are members like Kamlesh has been a member for a long time, but most of them are new members. And Deepak Chaudhary was our member earlier. Then again he joined back. He went to Nigeria, so he left and he came back. And we have a big support from Colonel and Pondi.
What is the medical curative's role, that advisor, special invitee?
This is the medical, the basically all this our vaccination and curative, more on the preventive side rather than other the side. And Ananta Krishnan is basically a very senior post holder. He's Director General of the Pharma Manufacturers Association now currently of India. And so he is like talking to practically all over the world, most of the ministries and other things. So he has a very big role. So I've, he's a member also. So I put him as a special invitee for that thing. He's ex-Pfizer. He was executive director in Pfizer.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's see.
Your team is coming. Should we start with the meeting?
Yeah, I think so. Most of the people are there. I'll stop the sharing. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have from my team, Colonel Sir has joined, Manish has joined, and Anita has joined. Then I think Dinesh has joined. So Jyoti has joined. I'll take it. Josna has joined, and Parag has joined. So I think all who could have joined has joined.
Okay. So thanks. Where should we start now?
I think so.
Please. Thanks, Prasad.
Okay. Thank you.
There is
First
one
of all,
request.
once again, welcoming DG Mayuresh.
Prasad, there is one request.
Yeah.
When we use the rotary jargons like PP, DG, not many of the new members are not aware. Yesterday they were requesting. So if you use some jargon which is very uncommon, please elaborate it.
Sure. We'll do that.
Thanks. Okay, I got
group member is me, so I request once again that I would like to present quickly.
So again, I would like to welcome DG Mayuresh for this meeting today, and AG Anindya, Chief Coordinator, Smile Coordinator Dinesh Bhai Mehta. Then we have, I can see Swapnil Kalbande from the district. Avenue Chair for membership, Yakub. District Membership Chair, Rajiv Karnik.
And Mir Patel.
And yes, Mir Patel. So welcome all of you, and thank you for joining our meeting today. Also welcoming President-elect Brijesh and his team for the meeting today. Thanks for making time during your probably work from home hours. Our original intention was that the meeting would be a physical one-on-one meeting between DG and the president-elect and some members of his core team. But with all this COVID situation outside, I think that's not thinkable, not possible. And this is the next best thing that we can do. And the meeting will be for about 1 hour. And after that, we can disperse. This is the last for the evening session. So if it overshoots a little bit, Rajiv, it's all yours. So having said that, I'll hand over to DG Mayuresh.
Yeah, thank you, Prasad. Thank you at the outset for organizing this meeting. And like you rightly said, this is the next best thing what we can do to a physical meeting. So we'll not enjoy as much as we would have in case of a physical get together. But this is the next best thing, and we go ahead with this. So welcome to all the members of Thane Lake City. Since you've already introduced them, we'll not waste much time. I'll welcome the district team here with us. And Brijesh, you will realize and you will agree with me that God was kind on us in the months of December, Jan, and we did manage to meet physically during our pre-peds. I'm sure you had a wonderful time there. All of us did have a wonderful time knowing each other and interacting each other. But then after that, situations have been slightly down, and we tried to postpone our next important events to some dates further and further. But then we realized we were landing up in just accumulating the events without actually seeing a prospect of getting to meet physically. So then we took a harsh decision that let's go ahead and move ahead on a virtual platform. And keeping in sync with that, we did our virtual pets. I'm sure you are in with your club, you and your club secretary would have attended the pets. I'm sure you must have enjoyed the format in which we tried to do that for you, a slightly different module, a slightly different way of presenting things. And on a similar module, we are going ahead with our next big event of the district, which is going to be our district assembly. And for again, the ease of administration and ease of interacting with the clubs and their directors, what we are trying to do is we are doing 2 district assemblies. We are splitting the district randomly into 2 halves, not geographically, randomly. So we will have about 40-45 clubs in each of the district assembly. Your club's district assembly is on the 9th of May. The second lot will be there on the 23rd of May. And in each of the district assembly from each of the club, we are requesting, normally if it was a physical district assembly, it was going to be for the whole day, right from the morning till late evenings. And you can imagine that on a virtual platform where not more than 3 to 4 hours any individual can sit and have an attention span, we need to concise everything that we would have managed to cover in the whole day into a package of 3 to 4 hours. So here, actually, we are not asking every of your club board member to register because we have nothing to offer to them. We are wanting specific people this time in the district assembly. Mainly, we would love to have the president, secretary, treasurer who are going to be in one breakout room. We would require a public image or a PR director of the club, which is there in a separate breakout room. The membership breakout room will require a membership director. The foundation would require a foundation director. Service sector of ours is going to be a big area. So we have 2 breakout rooms for service. So we would love your 2 service directors, if not less, maybe 2 or 3 people can join in those 2 separate service breakout rooms. And the 7th room we are keeping for the new members. So if you are having any new members in your club for the last 1-2 years who they have joined, I think they'll have a great time in that separate room, which is dedicated solely for the new members. We'll be talking to them about what our organization is about, how it functions, what it means to be a Rotarian, what are the possible options available. So everything related to, orienting a new member in our organization or mentoring him in our organization, we'll try to take care in that particular room. And believe me, the faculties are quite great. So your new members will definitely love that. And it is our bit to, help you retain your new members. So we will try to kindle an interest in them. So this is the number of people we would be requiring from your clubs. So we have in total 14 breakout rooms, duplication of the 7 breakouts, what we had talked to you about. So we will be not having more than maybe 20 to 25 people in one single breakout. Now, if you had attended the pets, Brijesh, you and your club secretary, you have realized that in the club, in the pets, we did not talk about any service project. We did not talk about membership. We did not talk about foundation. We did not talk about public image. Now, this is the district assembly is a place where we are going to talk to you about all these aspects. We will not replicate or repeat a topic which has already been covered with you under the under the pets event. So this is the place where we talk about public image, we talk about the rest of the things to the president and the secretaries about the functionings of the year and their mandatory requirements and the separate avenues to deal with, separate breakout rooms to deal with the separate sectors. So this is the district assembly what we are planning for you. And like I said, we have not talked to you about the service avenues of our district in the year 21-22. So in the next 15-20 minutes, what I'll try to do is give you a bird's eye view to you and your club members and the board of your directors of the board, what we are trying to define, design as the avenue structure for the year 21-22. Traditionally, all of you are quite an old club and you already have seen the district quite a number of years. So if you have seen the previous district directories, we will realize that we have avenues as being named as numbers. Normally you have club service 1, 2, 3, medical service 1, 2, 3, non-medical 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. But what we have realized, even though we were also a part of the system which defined those avenues in that way, we've realized that once we talk about, say, randomly, I tell Brijesh, you do a project in medical service 4. So the next question Brijesh will ask me is, what comes under medical service 4? So no one knows exactly by the number that what happens in that avenue. So what we are trying to do is, for our year, we are trying to change the nomenclature to a work specific avenue with the hope that once you get the name of the avenue, you automatically come to know what is there in that avenue and what is expected to be done in that avenue. So in the next 15-20 minutes, like I said, I just give you a bird's eye view about the structure of the avenues, what we have tried to design. And also I would talk to you about what is there in that avenue, what is expected to be done. Not every activity which I'll be talking about, every club has to do every activity. You can pick and choose. You can pick and choose upon depending on your liking, your expertise, your budget, your area of interest, and you decide how much you want to do. We are offering you a menu kind of a thing. You can pick and choose a la carte of what you require to do. The more you do, obviously it's going to be better for your club, your image. It is going to be better for the district as well. It is going to be better at the end for Rotary as well. So beginning of the avenue structure, the first domain under the avenue structure is the club administration, which was originally called as club service 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have got away with that. So we have a domain of club administration. Under club administration, we have 3 avenues. The first one is the reporting compliance avenue. Now this is a technical avenue in which your club is not supposed to do anything. In fact, this is the avenue which is going to help you, which is going to be with you, to help you follow the statutory requirements which are required to be followed by every club during any Rotary year. May it be paying the RI dues, may it be reporting to the South Asia, may it be paying the district dues, reporting to the district, may it be giving your monthly reports, whatever it takes for the compliances to be followed within the specific timelines. This is the avenue which is going to help you do that. So that's the reporting compliance avenue. The next avenue under club administration is going to be the fellowship avenue. Like I said in the beginning, God was kind on us a few months back, and I'm sure God is again going to be kind on us within the next few months. And we would be back to enjoying each other's company. So that is the fellowship avenue, which will involve the district picnic, which will involve the Rotal, which will involve the sports activities for Rotarians and the extended Rotary family. The third avenue under club administration would be the festival avenue. And as the name suggests, we would be celebrating all the festivals of our country in different geographical areas of our district, where those clubs in those geographical areas can come together, enjoy each other's company, enjoy each other's fellowship. And I'm sure we will be doing that. After club administration, the next area under the avenue structure is going to be public image. And I'm sure you will realize and you will also vouch that public image, public relations is a very important thing. Rotary International also realizes the importance of public image. And that is why even we at the district, we are going to have a separate breakout room dedicated only to public image, public relations, and public branding. Now, this avenue again is there to help each and every club create its own brand. Each and every club will be helped to publicize their smallest to their biggest activity across the cross section of the community, maybe locally, maybe in the country, maybe outside the country. This is an avenue where for the first time we are including Rotractors to be part of the district team, because believe me, and you will agree with me, that Rotractors are much better than all of us put together at times. You know, in those social medias, in those various social handles, in creating flyers, in creating brandings, they are much better than most of us put together. So we have Rotractors on board in the district team, also in the public image team, and this is the team which is going to help you design and publicize your own club's brand. We, for starters, have already started a YouTube channel of our district for the year 21-22. We also have our Instagram page, Facebook page already exists. More so because nowadays the trend is that people are more on YouTubes and more on Instagrams rather than Facebook. So we already have those handles, and this is a team which will help you handle those handles, and they will take care of you for that. The next domain under the service sector is going to be international service. International service is some area which normally clubs don't function much in international service, but we try to change that. We have incorporated certain small things which I think most of the clubs can contribute and help us in doing that. The first avenue under international service is going to be RYE, or the Rotary Youth Exchange. All of you know, I did not tell you what is Rotary Youth Exchange, but the unfortunate news is that the RI board's decision says that we do not have Rotary Youth Exchange during the year of 21-22. As is the decision in the current year of 2021, there is no Rotary Youth Exchange. There will not be a Rotary Youth Exchange in 21-22. Keeping in mind the travel restrictions, keeping in mind the gravity of the pandemic in different areas of the world, there will be no RYE. But what we are trying to do, like I said in the beginning, God is definitely going to be kind on us. And when things open up, probably in the months of October, November, December, when the weather is all good in our country, we will be trying to do small term cultural exchanges of young adults between 18 to 25. A team of young adults led by a Rotarian member can be visiting different districts within India. Say, for example, we have 39 Rotary districts in India. So if 3142 ties up with, say, Seven Sisters district in Assam, or ties up some district in North in Punjab and Haryana, or with some district in Chennai or in some district in Kerala, we would be having some small term, say 8 to 10 days or maximum of 2 weeks of cultural exchange. Something similar in lines to the GSC team, which used to be existing a few years before which the GSC was stopped. So something like a GSC exchange within the country. That is what is in the pipeline. As the things will unfold, as the situation improves, as the regulations will let us do things, we will come back to you with this activity. The second one under international service, which I think most of the clubs can be participative, is being a part of some of the other fellowships of our district. Now, these Rotary fellowships, we already have certain fellowship chapters in our district. We have the IFRM, which is there in our district with some chapters. We have the IFCR in our district. We have the Rotary Means Business with some chapters in our district. What we are planning to do is you should be a part of some of the other fellowship, or you help us start a new chapter of a new fellowship which is not existing in our district. And it's very easy to start a chapter of a fellowship, if not start a new fellowship altogether totally. But I think starting a chapter of a fellowship which is not existing, it's very easy. So just apply your minds and you can contribute to some international service which you normally don't contribute. The next sector in the avenue structure is going to be new generations, or previously what was called as the youth avenue. We have only two breakouts or two avenues under this new generation domain. We have the youth support or the new generation support avenue and the youth generation program avenue. The role of the youth support or the new generation support avenue is to help the clubs maintain their existing Rotaract clubs and the existing Interact clubs. More so the interactors, because see, Rotaract already has a district structure in place. They have their own training programs, they have their own installations, they have their own visits officially by the DRRs. So their reporting is never a problem for any sponsoring Rotary club, but it is the Interact clubs which are a problem because they solely depend on us Rotarians to report to the Rotary International, and we generally tend to forget about the Interact clubs. I am saying so because the statistics have been telling us for the last 2 to 3 years that almost 25 to 30% of the Interact clubs, which all of us think are existing in our district, are not existing as far as the technicalities goes on the RI website, because it does not show them, and they have been terminated because of the lack of communication or lack of reporting consecutively for 2 or 3 years. So this is the avenue which will help you to maintain your existing Rotaract Interact clubs, as well as help you start a new Rotaract or a new Interact clubs if you are interested in starting that. The second avenue under new generations is going to be the youth programs or the new generation programs avenue. And as the name suggests, they would be taking care of the RILAs, the RIPENs, the MUNA, the MIPS, or any sports related event for the intercollegiate, say, tournaments or inter-school tournaments. So that will be a part of the youth program team. After these structures of avenues or these domains under the avenue structure, we actually now come to the service sector, where actually the clubs are supposed to do projects and perform in those particular areas. And before I begin with the service sector, I can make a blanket statement to all of you. Any of the service sectors, if your club wants to do a bigger, better, bolder project, which is involving, say, a bigger community, being going to be beneficial to them in the long term, sustainable projects, a good project for creating a positive public image of Rotary, I think this is where the district is going to come in picture to help you to partly fund your bigger projects with the district grants, arranging global grants for you. Our CSR team has been functioning and working for the last 6 to 8 months relentlessly, trying to identify corporates, trying to identify donors in their area of interest to help you financially in those bigger projects. So that's a blanket statement which I can make at this stage of time also, that any bigger, better, bolder projects, the district is there to help you partly financially. So the first of the service sectors which we talk about is literacy. The domain is literacy. I don't need to talk to you about literacy. It has been there with us for quite some time, 7 to 8 years now. Even when we were 3140 together, we had the literacy domain or literacy service avenue existing. And we continue to do so because all of you will know this, that the Rotary India Literacy Mission or the projects of literacy are a brainchild of our RI President, Shekhar Mehta, and we definitely need to do something and continue to do something in this avenue because he is going to be at the helm of the affairs for our year of 21-22. Under literacy, we have those 5 traditional avenues of literacy, which is the teacher support, e-learning, child development, adult literacy, and happy schools, out of which happy schools is a bigger project involving a lot of money. And this is where which is going to be amenable to district grant, global grants, or the CSR funding or sponsorship. But what I would like to do, ask every club to do is 2 activities under teachers support and under adult literacy. I think these are very cost-effective projects, but causing a very positive impact in the society, in the community, if we can able to do that. Under teacher support, all you need to do is identify teachers in the government aided schools, and we are going to provide you with the faculty which will train and upgrade the teaching skills of those teachers. And this is something which we can do at not much of cost. The second thing what we can do for the teachers is recognize their efforts in building our society with the Nation Builder Award. Again, it's a project not involving cost, but it goes a long way in creating goodwill and PR in the community and society around us. Similarly, I would request every club to do some of the other activities under adult literacy. A lot of adult illiterates are there around us if we go to look at that. Statistically, for your information, India is a hub of adult illiterates. If there are 100 illiterate adults in the whole world, 38 of them stay in India. That is a kind of percentage and kind of load of adult illiterates in our country. And believe me, this is a project, we have done this before. And believe me, it's a project which is very cost effective. It's 100% going to cause an impact in the community. It is 100% going to help the country to improve its rate of literacy. And this is a project where we do not need to get involved ourselves. We can use our interactors, we can use our own children, we can use a senior citizens club to teach those adults, because it's not going to be the traditional way of teaching them. There's a method which the avenues will get in touch with you for how the method is going to be. But I think every club should pick up teacher support and adult literacy, if not any other thing under literacy. The next service sector is going to be sanitation. We have divided sanitation into 3 avenues. The first one is wash in schools and providing washing stations in schools and washing stations in the healthcare government facilities which lack the proper hand washing facilities. Friends, in these COVID times, all of us have realized the importance of hand washing. But believe me, Rotary has been promoting hand washing much before even COVID was existing in anywhere in this world. So we still continue to promote washing hands, providing washing stations. The second avenue is toilet constructions, may it be individual toilets, may it be community toilets, may it be public toilets. Again, these toilet constructions and washing stations are going to be amenable to district grant, global grants, or CSR funding, or individual sponsorship. The third project or third avenue under sanitation is going to be solid waste management. Now, this solid waste management, I think, is again something which every club should pick up and begin with our own Rotarians. The solid waste management is all about taking care of our wet waste from the houses and converting it to compost. Again, it's a very low cost project, very effective. And if we can manage to do that, we can contribute our bit for stopping the filth around us and taking care for the environment bit as well. Our club of Rotary Club of Ambernath, we have been doing this solid waste management for the first time in this Rotary year for the last 6-7 months. And I think most of our Rotarian members have done this in their own houses. They have liked it. They have promoted it in their buildings, their complexes, and we have managed to distribute 1,000 such solid waste management starter kits at not much cost of more than 250 or 300 per kit. So it's not a very costly project, but it's a very impactful project and a helpful project to the community. So after sanitation, the next biggest sector under service areas is going to be the medical sector or the health sector. For the ease of administration and the ease of functioning in that particular sector, we have divided the medical or the health sector into two sub domains, which is the health prevention and health curative. The health prevention sector has got 6 avenues. The first avenue amongst them is going to be the awareness avenue. Now, the job of this awareness avenues is going to be helping the clubs create awareness about any medical condition which they choose to be. May it be diabetes, may it be organ donation, may it be cancer awareness. This is the team which is going to help you clubs arrange these awareness seminars or awareness lectures, maybe in your complexes, maybe in some college, maybe in some school, or wherever you feel so, at the right time, in the right place. The next avenue under health prevention is going to be vaccinations. And all of us are experiencing COVID vaccination, which is going on in our country for the last 3.5 months. And believe me, from the month of July, it's going to be on a massive mass scale all over the country. And this is where Rotary, best known for its partnership in polio vaccination, we are definitely going to partner with the government and the other agencies in maybe promoting vaccinations, setting up vaccinations. Rotary India has already established a COVID vaccination task force, all India, and the chairman of that task force is none other than our past district governor Ashok Mahajan from 3141, and we are going to be fortunate to have him with us as the chief guest at the closing ceremony of our district assembly on the 9th of May. I'm sure he'll talk in details to you about that. In addition to COVID vaccination, we also promote rubella vaccination and vaccination against hepatitis B. So this is the vaccinations avenue. The third avenue under health prevention is going to be Project Positive Health. You have your own member Himali, who's going to be avenue chair for Project Positive Health. This Project Positive Health is going to be continuing from the last 2 years. It's a project of RI Director Bharat Pandya. Monthly camps are expected from every club for knowing numbers. So know your numbers camps in the community and the society by every club is what is expected. Know your numbers in the sense we just check up height, weight, blood pressure and blood sugar, out of which the only cost involved is going to be checking the sugar. The rest 3 do not involve any cost. And by knowing these 4 numbers, I think a reasonable amount of prediction can be done regarding the health of that particular individual. So Project Positive Health continues in whatever format, in checkup camps, in awareness creation. We had previously in, I think, 1920, the smart year, a walkathon for Project Positive Health. So we still are open to the things if the things improve around us and the regulations do allow us to do other things. But I think the camps is on, definitely. The next one under the health prevention is going to be End Thalassemia, which is again a thrust area of this year, which we are continuing in the year, and we definitely support the End Thalassemia campaign. Again, here you have your own member of Thane Lake City, Nanik Jeswani, who is going to be the avenue chair of End Thalassemia, and we support solely in promoting creating awareness of thalassemia, also promoting the checkups of thalassemia traits wherever we can in the marriage eligible population. Polio as an avenue under health prevention remains as a thrust area, and it will remain till the time we manage to eradicate polio from the face of the earth. And we will be contributing and helping the government whenever the NIDs are announced, as we have been doing before. Also, we will do our bit of contributing to the End Polio Now Fund wherever it is going to be possible. The last avenue under health prevention is going to be creating awareness about tuberculosis, another dreaded endemic disease to our country, which has a massive mortality rate, much more than what even COVID has done in the last 1.5 years. So we are here to tie up with government agencies. We are in the process. We'll soon get back to you with the details as soon as they are there with us. After health prevention sector of the medical faculties, we have the second sector, which is the health curative. Under health curative, as the name would suggest, we would involve the treatment part of certain diseases or ailments which we choose. The first biggest avenue under health curative is pediatric heart surgeries, cataract surgeries, and providing dialysis machine units. Pediatric heart surgeries, for your information, we are tying up with District 3141 for our year of 21-22, and pediatric heart surgeries are going to be at no cost to the patients as well as no cost to the clubs. The only responsibility of the clubs is arrange for screenings of those patients, identify those patients, do the proper paperwork which is going to be required, and rest is taken care by the Rotary District 3141 and 3142. You do not incur any expenditure. The same goes for cataract. We are in a process of identifying Rotarian doctors or grants or sponsors where we can do cataract surgeries totally free of cost. So all you need to do is arrange screening camps, identify the patients, do their paperwork, and the rest is taken care by the district. The second avenue under health curative is going to be hospital upgradation. Here we are involved in upgrading the infrastructure of maybe government-run hospitals or trust-run hospitals, which cater to an underprivileged community and take care of their health. So we upgrade the infrastructure in this particular avenue. Blood donation and skin banking is the third avenue under health curative. And what we are looking at is monthly blood donation camps. All of you will realize that there is a perpetual shortage of blood. So rather than doing a scattered blood donation camps once or twice in a year, let us dedicatedly, maybe not with every club doing a camp every month, maybe a cluster of clubs can do in different areas, a blood donation camp every month. Don't bother about the number of units collected per camp. Look at the impact at the end of the year. If you can have 10 camps in 10 different areas every month, collecting only say 20 bottles, you imagine at the end of the year, we have contributed some of our bit towards the shortage of blood in our area. So we do those monthly camps. And the last avenue under health curative is going to be maternal and child health. Maternal and child health, as the name would suggest, would involve projects and activities related to pregnant females during their pregnancy, during their delivery, and immediately the postnatal or the post-delivery period, because this is the time where maximum complications do happen with the females, and India does not boast much about their maternal mortality or infant mortality rate, which is slightly on the higher side as far as the world average is concerned. So that is as far as the health is concerned. The next service area is water. Under water, we have three avenues. One is the reduce, reuse, recycle avenue, where we promote wastage, promote avoiding wastage of water, and promote reusing and recycling of the domestic washed water into the water which can be used for cleaning purposes. The second avenue under water is Jala Sanjeevani, and the third one is the check dams and the rejuvenation of water bodies. Now, both these are bigger projects. We are trying to identify the areas where you can construct the check dam, and like I said, bigger projects are amenable to your district grant, global grants, CSR funding, or sponsorship. Jala Sanjeevani is just about providing potable drinking water to the areas and to villages which do not have direct access to potable drinking water. This project would be carried out in the area of Murbad, where we are in the process of identifying certain villages or padas which, as of date also, as we are talking, do not have an access to potable drinking water. So that is as far as water is concerned. The next three service sectors are going to be labeled as an independent service sectors, probably for the first time in our year. The first amongst them is the disaster management avenue. In disaster management avenue, what we do is we do two things and promote two things. One is creation of shelter boxes. I think all of you must have heard about shelter boxes. If not, you can Google it up once we are done with the meeting. Shelter box is a mini kind of a suitcase in which you have certain items which can sustain a family of 4 for about 5 to 7 days till the time a definitive help can reach them if they are being affected by any natural disaster. So our aim is to create minimum 2 per club or maximum as much as they can shelter boxes and keep it ready with us. Last 2 to 3 years, some of the natural disasters have been always striking in our country. May it be flash floods in Uttarakhand, may it be floods in Kerala last 2 years back, and devastation of villages together, devastation of thousands of homes. And the least we can do is, if we have these shelter boxes ready right from the beginning, God forbid some or the other disaster strikes during our year, the first thing within 24 hours, what we can do is shoot 100, 200 shelter boxes. So at least those number of families are taken care of for 5 to 7 days, at least minimum, till the time some other help reaches them. Do not bother about the transport of those shelter boxes to the destination of the disaster. That will be taken care by road. So we just need to make those shelter boxes and keep it ready with us. And the second project which I think every club should do is creating awareness about the first response in case of a disaster striking in our neighborhood. And believe me, some small disasters do keep on happening, like a building may collapse or you may have a fire in a floor below you. You know, small disasters do happen. And even in these kinds of small disasters, the first response is always crucial in maybe saving some life or property. So we create awareness about the first response responsibility in case of any disaster. So we have people in the avenue who are going to help you arrange those awareness seminars wherever you wish to do so. The second, amongst the first time creation of separate domain under the avenue structure, is the environment, and more so it requires that kind of a focus and importance because now it is your 7th area of focus of the Rotary Foundation. So we create a separate domain or a separate entity of an area of environment. Under environment, we have 3 avenues. The first one is tree plantation. We are trying for a different concept of tree plantation, which I'm sure the avenue chairs under tree plantation will talk to you, our avenue chairs, or sorry, your club directors in the district assembly. But we are looking at some different concept of tree plantation. We're trying to tie up with the forest authorities of our government and get areas from them where which you can keep on afforesting and maintaining for the year throughout, and not just planting trees and forgetting about it. So we're trying something new, trying something different. So let's see how it works out. The second avenue under environment is going to be managing e-waste and plastic waste. All of you will agree it's a menace for all of us, e-waste and plastic waste. Most of us don't know what to do with, especially the e-waste. So here we are trying to tie up with an agency where we can actually, at a designated place and a designated time, the agency will come and pick up that waste which we generate and which we manage to collect. I think every club can do that. This agency has been on a trial basis working in our neighboring district of 3141. And in fact, they have managed to collect quite significant amount of waste in the last 3 to 4 months. And the plus point of this agency is the money which this agency earns out of the waste which we give them or which they collect, a bit of that money, a percentage of the money, they would contribute on behalf of the club which gives them the waste to the Rotary Foundation. And with this, they have tried to contribute, I think the figure is about 3.5 lakh of rupees or slightly some money here and there to the Rotary Foundation in the last 3 to 4 months. The money is not big, but I think something goes from every club because of the waste which they are generating. I think it's a win-win situation for both of us. So we are in a process of tying up with these agencies, and as soon as we are done with the technicalities, we'll get back to you with the details. But I think this is one project which again every club can do without any cost. And the last amongst the environment is going to be renewable energy resources, which is about promoting solar related projects. And again, these are big size projects, definitely protecting the environment, definitely reducing your carbon footprints, definitely empowering a community. So they are amenable to a CSR, district grant, global grant, and any sponsorship which we can arrange for you, definitely. The last amongst the first time differently enabled sector of service is going to be economic community development sector. Under economic community development, we have 5 avenues. The first one is the service to the physically challenged. And as the name suggests, we continue our traditional projects of District 3140, the LN4 processes, the Jaipur food processes, the Virtual Eye project. So all these projects do continue and also will include certain newer activities which are going to be beneficial for the welfare of the physically challenged people around us. The second avenue under economic community development is de-addiction. Again, this is a thrust area of the current year, which is going to be continued as we had promised them that it will continue in the next year as well. The third avenue is going to be Choti Si Asha. And now this Choti Si Asha is a personal thrust area of our RI presidents, and keeping his request, we have kept this as a separate avenue. Choti Si Asha, as the name suggests, is about girl-child empowerment, not woman empowerment, but girl-child empowerment. Anything and everything related to activities empowering a girl child, may it be sending to school, taking care of her education, maybe teaching her self-hygiene, maybe teaching her self-defense, anything it takes to empower a girl child, we do under this avenue of Choti Si Asha. The fourth avenue is mental health avenue, under which we promote 2 activities. Mental health is a very broad area, but we try to touch upon and create awareness about 2 activities. One is Alzheimer's disease or dementia, and second is about depression and suicidal tendencies. The team has, and believe me, I can share with you, The avenue chairs and the co-chairs in this team have voluntarily come up asking themselves to be put in this avenue. So we have some dedicated Rotarians amongst us who want to work in this, and they'll get back to you with the details of how things can be possible in this mental health avenue. The last one under economic community development is armed forces welfare and the farmers welfare. Again, in this avenue, we are tying up with our neighboring district of 3140, which is 3141 now, for the farmers welfare, because they have been doing activities under farmers welfare and have got quite a good results for the farmers by those activities which they are promoting, and we'll be taking care of this area in our work area of Murbad Taluka. The details, obviously, the team will get back to you. And the last avenue of service is going to be vocational service. In vocational service, friends, we expect every club to do three things. The first is a career guidance, which I think every club can do and should do. The second one is arranging vocational tours for the underprivileged children. We have a lot of factory units in and around Thane. You may be having your adopted schools, or you may be having your interact clubs where you can take those children from those schools or interact clubs to visit those factories. And I'm sure it's a quite interesting experience for the children to know what actually exists and what actually happens in these factories. So that is something which I think every club can do, make those children happy, bring a smile to their faces. And the third thing what we need to do, and most of us do that is vocational awards. But what we are saying this time is, we do not give vocational awards to the already famous people. They already get recognition from many other areas. They get recognitions from the press, or any other NGOs also recognize them. But let us recognize as Rotarians someone who is not so popular, someone who is kind of an unsung hero, but still continues to work using his or her vocational expertise for the benefit of the community. And believe me, more so in these current COVID times, you also must have come across so many people who are working silently in the pandemic, behind the scenes, but making a difference to various families. So let us make an effort to recognize those peoples. And I think it's our job to get these people to forefront, let their efforts be recognized by giving them vocational awards. So this is the entire avenue structure in some details, where a lot of activities can be done, but like I said in the beginning, not everything you need to do. You pick and choose. But the more you do, I think better for you and better for us also. That leaves us with only two avenues now, which is the membership and the foundation. And we already have people from the district membership team, the district foundation team. You have your own Dinesh Bhai here, who have been a foundation chair in our Rotary year of 2018-19, where we have a maximum collection to the Rotary Foundation. So I need not talk to you about the importance of foundation. But I would just say this, that because in 18-19, the Rotarians of our district gave $440,000 US to the annual program fund. In our year of 21-22, we are getting back $220,000 US to distribute back to the clubs to do bigger, better, bolder projects. $220,000 is almost 1.5 crores of rupees, which is quite a significant amount of money, which is coming back to us just because someone like us donated this money to the foundation 3 years back. So let us all also contribute to the foundation in our way, in our bid, so that maybe 3 years down the line, when someone of us who's going to be in the chair like we are today, someone will be district governor, someone will be a club president in our places. Let them also remember us that 3 years before, 21-22 Rotarians gave some money to the foundation. And today in that year of 24-25, we have got this money so that we are going to do a bigger projects. And membership also, what can I say? I think all of us need to grow. All of us know that we need to grow, especially in today's difficult times when we are losing members. And I think the job of the membership for every club should begin today and not wait for 1st of July. Because today, if we do not help the clubs retain their existing membership, if leave apart adding new members, if we do not help the clubs retain their existing members, at the beginning of 1st July, we are going to be left with a void. And then our job is going to be twofold. First, we'll need to fill that void. And then we need to go from that base which we filled after creating the void, filling the void which we create. So rather than doing a double task after 1st of July, let us all work in this year also, just to ensure, if not, like I said, if you're adding members in this year, nothing like it. But if not adding, at least don't let the members go away. So I think with this, I would hand it over to Rajiv, Sangram, and maybe Dinesh Bhai to talk